Alright.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
So I figured, well, I should first start off by saying, probably gonna hold off on doing covers at least at the moment, because kind of drawing a blank on stuff to do and shit. Possible me and him might do some stuff. Don't know yet. Yes, we get it. Yours is longer than mine now. So I figured just for the hell of it, talk about some creatures and urban legends, and see how you guys like that and kind of go from there. If you guys like it, definitely can do more of them. So, what's the first thing?
What do you want to talk about? We got plenty of creatures to talk about.
Okay.
What do you feel like would be a good starter creature?
Let's do that one urban legend one. The rake.
The rake?
Yeah. So explain to them what the rake is.
Alright, so the rake is an urban legend, which you might have known as a creepypasta, which is a humanoid creature that tends to stalk its victim and take the victim's child. What makes the rake so significant is that it is humanoid and very pale white, and it has really long claws for hands. So tell me, what did you think about it when I told you about it?
Is that the one that I saw the picture of and it looks very similar to the creature I knew?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. My idea of it is it probably is a true thing. It's possible it could even be that creature I'm thinking of, just kind of changed up for the creepypasta thing. That's my idea of it. I don't know the name of it, but it does look like a creature I know of. The only difference is, at least in the picture I saw of the rake,
Rake.
Yeah, rake. In the photo of the rake, it was on all fours on the ground, but it's his stomach was to the ground and his back up, which is normal, but his head was twisted around almost like an owl. Whereas the creature I know is it's reversed, so the stomach is to the sky, back to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's probably possible it is a thing.
Could be a possibility, but it's an urban legend,
Sure.
myth, creepypasta. We'll never know until we actually experience it.
Just all of a sudden on the scene.
And we don't have children in the house.
My mom's.
Even if I was a kidnapping monster, I wouldn't want that.
Oh no. What's another one?
We could discuss the Wendigo.
Wendigo? Yeah, we can talk about that. So, I'll explain this one. So, Wendigo is mostly known as going back to Native American times. And so it's a harsh winter. You're in the middle of the forest. There's no food. All that there is you and your native people. Well, when there's nothing to eat, they decided to start eating each other. So throughout doing that, and because Native Americans were very spiritual, so they probably did other stuff. Not exactly sure exactly what they did. But throughout doing cannibalism and the spirituality of it, they essentially turned into these 6 foot to 8 foot tall, really slender, skinny people. Very gray, sharper claws and sharp teeth and stuff like that, and they equivalently moved to like the speed of sound almost. So they're very, very fast, slender, killing machines, and I would never want to fucking hunt that or try to even find that anywhere.
So, I know there's the misconception of the Wendigo, where it's got the head of a deer but the body of a male. So would that be a true misconception of that?
Here's the thing: you cannot move fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can?
Yeah.
That actually I never heard of. I don't remember you were telling me that. Yeah, I'm not sure on that because I've never even heard of that. I only know it as how I just described it.
Because the way you kind of explained it was, it reminded me of the game Until Dawn.
They actually did do the lore correctly on Wendigos.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is, yes, fire kills them, but not to the extent of how they did it, because you have to cut off their head and limbs and practically bury them far distance away, because even if you burn it to the ground, it can still reshape and freaking ad. But no, it can reform itself unless unless it's far away enough that it can't do that.
I can't even take it
I
serious
can't
right
either.
now. The
Stupid
ad
ad.
is talking about Tide Pods.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be time.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Alright.
But yeah, I only know it as that. So I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's possible. I do know of a lot of people seeing that, depending on just in the forest or by rituals on a close encounter of pagans doing stuff. Dark pagans, that is. So. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're real, because I'm pretty sure I've been near one, because I felt the presence of one. It just felt really off, and I kept hearing... Oh, another thing, they can change their voice to sound like someone that we know.
Shut up.
So, say me and him are in the forest, and all of a sudden, I walk away to take a piss, and all of a sudden I hear Nate's voice. Could be him, could be a Wendigo, because they can reform their voice. But I'm pretty sure I have, though, because I've heard my mom's calling me, and I was far enough away that it was impossible, because it was the middle of the night, so she was asleep. So, pretty sure it was. But anyways, we won't go that far into that. Yeah. So.
That's spiritual. More spiritual. Being.
I mean, we'll talk about the most known one for Urban Legends, Slenderman. Yeah.
Oh god.
So I guess since
Alright,
it's very,
so
very
debate time.
I guess it's debate time, because me and him go back and forth on this. So, the creature Slenderman. I'm not going to go into it because it's so known that everyone knows who he is.
And if you don't know, you might know him as the creepypasta of the really tall white dude with no face. He's white, and he wears a suit and tie.
It's a fancy killer.
Indeed.
Yes, a fancy cat.
Quite.
Yeah.
Anyways, so his side of the debate is he doesn't
No,
believe that he's real.
I'll explain mine. You explain yours.
Go first.
Alright. So, my idea of Slenderman is... I'm not saying he's not real. I'm not saying he is real. I have a hard time believing that he's real, just because out of nowhere he was just made up. So my theory on him is he's a... Now, I may be saying this incorrectly, but a Tibetan or Tibetan thought form. I believe it is a Bhutanism religion. They're a type of creature that takes the form on a thought process. So, say for example, Santa Claus. So many believe in him, and throughout that, he is therefore formed into what everyone assumes he looks like, and takes on a life of his own. Now, at first, he'll kind of act like how we know him, making presents and shit like that, but because it takes on the form of itself, it therefore, in a sense, turns evil. So, without going further into that, with Santa Claus, with Slenderman, my idea of him being real is being a thought form. Taking on the form of what everyone thinks he looks like, and then takes on a life of its own. Now, explain your side.
So,
Try to speak a little bit louder.
my side is that I'm not saying I'm a full-on believer that he's real, but I mean, there is forms of evidence that, you know, he could be real, because there have been reports, there's been, you know, there is obviously the Photoshop pictures of Slenderman in the background with kids in front of him or so and such. But the origins of Slenderman go far, far back in time. Enough to the point where, like, you know, there's x-rays that you can take and you can put on pictures, and you can see hidden pictures inside the paintings. Now, there's a German picture / painting called Der Richter. If you have followed the creepypasta of Slenderman, Slenderman has multiple limbs. 2 arms, 2 legs, and then multiple tentacles. Now, the painting of Der Richter, when you look at it under a X-ray, you'll see a humanoid being that is tall and skinny with, I believe it's 4 arms and 4 legs. And it resembles, you know, kind of what you would see as Slenderman. So, I feel that could potentially be, you know, an artist, you know, representing what he saw. Or, again, how he said, oh, it could just, you know, be a fake because, you know, it's just a thought. But if you have artists painting things like that way back when paintings were mainly portraits or landscapes, which are based on factual things, you can kind of see, you know, where it's going. It could be factual. Now, with that being said, there are people that say, oh, well, Slenderman is a real being because he's made me do these sort of things. Take, for example, a few years ago, these students went and they took one of their other classmates into some woods and stabbed her multiple times. I'm not sure if you guys saw it on the news when it happened, because I'm not sure about how, you know, far the news got out. But they said it was Slenderman that made them do it. You look more into Slenderman's lore, and he releases neurotoxins that affect your state of mind.
Actually, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? I'm going. I can't remember what I was going to say.
I lost my train of thought.
What was I gonna say?
But,
Oh, that's what it was.
mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I do know, because I just got curious and I looked it up, I do know that there was a person, this could be the same guy, the Devinder guy, or Slenderman, of a guy that kind of resembled that and died in a suit. So it's possible that when he died, his spirit was so strong that it obviously stayed here and took on a form of that of its own. So, I mean, that's a possibility. I'm not sure. It's just an idea of what I have. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe. I'm not saying I do. It's a good possibility. You got anything else to add? Because we might have that. We're going to have to wrap it.
Not really. I think that's pretty much it. We can
Alright.
continue this in the next video if you guys are interested. Just go.